What's going on, guys? So this is FIA Season 2, Round 3, and sorry for taking forever to get this out, but let me tell you, doing highlights of Blue Moon is a pain because it's only 42 seconds per lap, so I have to constantly stop and go back so I can try to get all the action for you guys because I'm trying to cover every detail that I possibly can. So if you remember, I wasn't even going to do this. I was thinking to myself, like, I don't even really like Blue Moon. I've never really done this track before. But I said, you know what, it's FIA. Let me just try it. I did practice before this, and I did the last slot, and then I get matched up with IOF and all the FT guys. And it ended up being a pretty good race, though. And let me go down the grid. FT Chris qualified first. Second was King Best Jr., and I believe he's also in FT. Don't quote me on that, though, but I think he is. I end up getting third place. Hell's Fire, good seeing you, buddy. He's in fourth place. FT McQueen was fifth. IOF, how you doing, man? He got sixth place in the GTR. Nico gets seventh place in the BMW. FT Solid in eighth. Ninth place is Ziggin. 10th place, my Mitsubishi buddy right here, TE 9500 RPM. And I'm just gonna scroll down these real quick because there's a lot of good people in here. You got Ant in here in 11th, Zenit, Ralphie. I mean, look at all these guys. Honda Racer, Sprint Cup champ. I mean, this is just a pretty stacked room right here. So let's get going to the race. Okay, lap one here, and I'm right behind King Best, and I was trying to stay as close as I possibly could. Now let me explain to you what my strategy was kind of going into this. All right, so I know that the Lancer really isn't that good on fuel. So you can see me kind of being aggressive and making an early pass right away. Now there was a reason for that. I knew that I wasn't going to be doing the best in fuel here. And I know that the Lexus, Chris is in first with the Lexus, I know that thing really saves a lot of fuel. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to have to really push here. I'm going to have to try to put some distance on some people because if I try to conserve, there's no way that I'm going to conserve as much as these other guys are. So I was just trying to push and keep pace and stay up front as much as I possibly could. All right, focusing on Hell's Fire right here. He's in fourth place. Now take a look at this. This is some aggressive battling. You know, let's go into Hell's Fire's view here. Take a look at this. Oh, a little bit of a hit right there. Looked like a mess-up break by McQueen right there. Then Hells gets pushed off right there, and that puts him back. This has been, I'll tell you what, this race right here, this pack, this was some crazy driving. Everybody was just passing back and forth this entire race. I want you guys to take a look at this right here. Look at IOF. Look, team. Look at the little battling right there. A little bumping. They're both frustrated right now. You can see that little taps right there. They're both like kind of fighting. And IOF squeezes right by right there. Look at this. Goes right there on this outside. That's a scary position to be in. Catches McQueen's slipstream. He moves over. Doesn't want him to get that. And look at this slowdown right here by McQueen. I was kind of wondering why he did that. Kind of messed up the line a little bit. Maybe it could have been some type of defense right there. And you can see Ziggin right here. Now take a look at this battle. And look at McQueen just being defensive right there. Not letting IOF get by. Right here, the break. IOF trying to stay on the inside. Ziggin's right behind him right here. IOF moves over. You see McQueen trying to come over. Doesn't want him to pass. And IOF sneaks right by for fourth place. Really good job right here. And take a look at McQueen. He doesn't want him to keep that pass. We're in his view right now. Take a look at this. Well, see that bump right there. Did you see that bump by Ziggin? Now, this is what I wanted to go over with you guys. Let's go back on this real quick. Now, this would definitely be, you see a bump right there? This is definitely the perk of knowing people and having teammates and stuff. You can get a little bit of a push every now and then. You can see them all working together. And I did notice that, you know, the FT guys were working with each other and bump drafting to kind of help out in this race. All right, going back to lap 2 so you guys can see what's going on in front of the pack right here. I'm right behind FT Chris. Remember I was telling you guys that I was trying to make a pass as early as I could. Now you saw a little bit of an early shift there. I was trying to like not conserve too much fuel. And my plan initially was, hey, maybe I can milk this slipstream, and then if I do that, I'll save a little bit of fuel. But I changed my mind because I realized that, you know, saving fuel and milking the slipstream is not going to be in my benefit because if he conserves in front of me, the Lexus conserves more, and there's no way that I'm going to win that battle. So you're going to see here, I went, I was thinking, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. All right, you're going to see right here, I'm going to try to make my pass right here in FT Chris. He's right there on the outside. I got the inside. I don't want to floor too much. I know he's right next to me and nice and clean right there. No contact. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to give props to FT Chris. We had a really clean race, and there was no contact between us. Right here, you're going to see me take this inside. Nothing he can do, and I take this for first place. Okay, lap 4 right here. You're going to see IOF trying to make his move right here and just flies by King Best for third place. Now, it is possible that King Best is conserving fuel right here, and that's why he was able to make that pass so easily, but keep in mind that this GTR does have really fast top end, and under slipstream, it's just going to go right by. Okay, still on lap 4 right now. So we're at Nico's views in 7th place. Now look at this battling that's going on right here with all these FT guys. Take a look at this. So we're in his view right here, right behind Zig. You see a little bit of push right there, a little bit of a bump draft. And you see TE come in right there in the Mitsubishi. It flies by that inside, just kind of messes everything up. Look at that pass right there. Honda Racer comes on that inside. Nico already loses 2 positions right there. A little bit of a bump from TE. Oh, and a mess up by Nico right there. And you're going to see another position lost right here. Sprint Cup flies by, going back into Nico's view right here, trying to make up his positions with 3 losses right there on that lap, and that simple mistake. All right, guys, lap 6. Take a look at IOF in 3rd place right here. Everyone's following him. I mean, this is some tight racing right there. King Best is right behind him, and everyone's right there. IOF's got to stay. He's got to stay consistent. You see him moving over, trying to get out of that slipstream, but it's not really going to do much. They're right behind him, and King Best just milking that slipstream right now. Okay, lap 7 right here. You can see Sprint Cup champ trying to make his move. Take a look at Honda Racer. He goes a little wide right here. And that's going to cause Sprint Cup to give an opportunity to make a pass right here. Look, he's right on that slipstream. IOF moves to the left on the pack, trying to avoid slipstream. And look at this right here. Look at the up-top power of the Aston Martin. And he gets that inside on Honda Racer right there. Not much he can do. All right, so lap 7. Now, this is when some funky stuff starts going on. Now, I know you guys are familiar with the whole ghosting thing. So I think you can see right there, Nico going through solid. I think what happened was maybe some of the bump drafting or something like that gave a penalty, and then they started going through each other. So there needs to be something implemented, I think, in the game. At least this is my opinion. I think they need to implement something that says when a player is being ghosted when they have a penalty. Because I don't know if you guys realize this, but sometimes people will have a penalty and then you can't ghost through them. So sometimes you can ghost through them, and sometimes you can't. I think that Polyphony needs to implement something to let you know, hey, you can ghost through this person. Or maybe just get rid of it altogether. Okay, lap 10, take a look at this. Ziggin messes up, goes a little bit wide and hits that wall. And that gives Nico and Stealth an opportunity to make the pass right there. So you're going to see now, position change. Stealth is in 9th and Nico is in 10th now. Okay, lap 10 here. You can see Nico is about to make his move on Stealth. Okay, right behind him he's got Solid. He shoots for this inside right here. Stealth going to give it to him. Break, beautiful break. Stays on the inside. Gives Stealth plenty of room. Fantastic pass right there. But Stealth is right behind him though. See, that's the thing. In this track, or on this track, if you're right behind someone, you make that pass, they still have an opportunity to steal that inside right here. Stealth right behind him. He wants that position back. He's got that speed. He's got the slipstream. And he steals the inside again and gets his position back. This was some crazy battling. But you can see that, oh, a little bit of a bump right there from Nico. You can see they're starting to catch that pack right in front of him now. Okay, lap 11. You're going to see IOF goes into pit. Now, that's very interesting. And I did notice this when I was racing because I was in first. I'm like, wait a minute. IOF just pit on lap 11. I was thinking I was going to pit on lap 13, but you're going to see that this was actually a good strategy and a good idea. Okay, lap 12, IOF coming out of the pit here, and you're going to see he's got the entire track to himself since he decided to pit on lap 11. All right, lap 12, going on to 13. Now pay attention here. Look at Honda Racer. Comes on the inside right here, and take a look at McQueen. Boom, gives a bump to King Best, but that leaves the inside open for Honda Racer to take that. And it made him vulnerable right there. So a little bit of a hit in the wall by McQueen. Okay, still lap 13 here. Take a look at this. Honda Racer flies right by King Best, and you're probably thinking to yourself, man, he seems to be going awful fast, you know, flying by him like that right before pit. Well, there is a reason for that. Okay, about to go into pit right now, lap 13. Take a look at Sprint Cup. Now, I think McQueen messed up right there in this little tap right there on Sprint Cup, but take a look at this. We're going to pause right here. Now, look. You're going to see King Best look 21 on his fuel. So it was pretty obvious that from the start of the race, he was doing something to conserve fuel because that is a whole lot of fuel that he has right there. And you're going to see Honda Racer, he is at 1. So that little pass that he had and how he flew by right there, that was because, you know, King Best has been managing. So really nice job by him. So now we're going to go back to what happened between Chris and I in first and second place. All right, so lap 13 here. Now take a look at my fuel. I barely have any fuel. You see me short shifting a little bit, and now Chris is starting to catch me, okay? So we've been kind of up here, and I knew he was milking my slipstream. So at this point, I actually changed my fuel mapping, and I knew that I wasn't going to have any fuel. I wanted to make sure I pit on lap 13, so I changed my fuel mapping and tried to conserve, and I knew that going in this pit, this was going to be pretty scary right here. And take a look at this. I run out of fuel, and Chris is right behind me like, what's this guy doing? So I have 0 going into pit, and Chris has 14. That is a massive disadvantage that I have. And I wasn't even revving the Lancer out all the way. And I knew this was going to happen. It was something that I anticipated. I just knew that I needed to come out strong, and I took a little bit extra fuel in this pit. Okay, coming out of the pit right here, you're going to see Chris is way ahead. I mean, after that pit, having the 14 fuel going into my view, you see he's got about 4.5, about 5 seconds on me, actually. And that was a pretty tremendous difference coming out of the pit. Take a look at this. 4th place, IOF, he's right there. So his strategy of pitting on lap 11 gave him the ability to run consistent lap times without being on slipstream. And it was a really good idea going into that pit early, because you can see it created a little bit of distance from the rest of that pack that was so hectic earlier in this race. Okay, I want to share a moment right here. Now, I'm not a big Mustang fan, but take a look at that livery. Okay, that's pretty sick. You know, I'm not going to lie, you know, but I really saw this livery and I'm like, man, that Mustang looks pretty sick. So props to you for having a pretty cool livery on a Ford. You know what? I give you props, man. Okay, lap 16 now. Take a look at TE. He's starting to gain on IOF a little bit. Now, let's talk about this. So you see TE and you see Solid right there in 5th place. So Solid is right behind TE milking that slipstream. And keep in mind that these guys have fresh tires. So since IOF went in at lap 11, he's going to have significantly worse tires than these guys are. You can see that little bit of wear right there coming on the GTR, and that kind of stuff is really going to matter when it starts coming to the end of this race. Lap 17, Sprint Cup champ, 9th place, right behind Honda Racer and King Best. Take a look at this. Smooth. Look at this battle between these guys. Ooh, a little bit of a lift. All right, guys, lap 18. Now, pay attention to this. You see right here, this is a prime example. Now, you see them going through each other right there. We're obviously seeing that issue, but take a look at this. Right here, boom, up goes the inside. Now, take a look. This is a prime example of how this can help. Now, look at this. Boom, you see that hit right there, and look how much speed he got from that hit right there, and that is an example of the bump draft and how this stuff can really be effective. Lap 20, now look at TE 9500, he is now catching IOF. Tire wear is starting to make a difference. He's in the slipstream now, and IOF's in trouble here. Look at the tire wear on TE, and look at the tire wear on IOF. He is actually going to be going a lot slower now, so he's going to have to be consistent. All right, going back up to 2nd place here. We're on lap 21. So let me explain to you about what I've been doing. Now, you're going to notice I'm a lot closer now to FT Chris. So what I was doing was the first 4 or 5 laps, I was conserving a little bit of fuel. And then at this point, I started revving it out a little bit more so I could catch Chris and get into that slipstream. And I knew I had the additional fuel to go as fast as I could to catch and try to maintain that pace. Okay, going on lap 22 here. FT Chris knows that I'm on that slipstream. You see him trying to move and get out of that because he knows that any time now, since I have that slipstream, I'm going to be able to make this pass soon. Okay, here we go. Still on lap 22. Trying to make my pass. Downshift, easy, full throttle. I don't want to understeer too much. And here we are. We're right behind him. Chris still trying to get out of that slipstream. But at this point, there's nothing he can do. Right here, make the pass. Nice and clean. No bumping from Chris. Fantastic driving there. Going through the turn, nice down the inside. Chris holds his line, great job. Now he's right behind me now, and I made my pass on lap 23. So we're gonna see if we can hold him off. Now pay attention to that fuel. Okay, lap 21 here, take a look at this. TE makes his move on IOF right here. Brakes, smooth, IOF yields, no contact. And see IOF trying to get more speed right there. He's right behind TE. Look at that, a little bit of a bump. And I see what IOF's doing here. That little bit of a bump draft right there is helping them catch, you know, Chris and I. All right, so lap 22. Look how close these guys are. Look how scary this is. I mean, oh, a little bit. You see that? See, that is the problem right there with those little bit of bumps people are doing. It kind of messes up the flow a little bit, and it causes people to bump, and it gives it that chain effect. Okay, lap 24 here. Now, you're going to see Nico still back there in 12th place, right behind Zig, and they're still battling and going through each other. And you can see Moko right there in 10th place. Nice job by him. All right, final lap. IOF is side by side with TE right now. Look at them coming right down the stretch right there. TE hit IOF a little bit. IOF smacks that wall slightly, and they're side by side at the end right here. And you're going to see right at the finish, IOF pulls it off just barely. A fantastic ending for IOF and TE, and a nice job IOF pulling that off right there. All right, going down the last stretch, I end up getting first place, and FT Chris gets second place, and IOF pulls up third place right behind TE 9500 RPM. That was a crazy ending. I mean, those guys were really battling out at the end. I had no idea who was going to win that race. So a really good race with the FT guys. I was really impressed. It was a lot of fun. You know, I only usually go over the top 3, but this is the grade if any of you guys are curious. But yeah, it was a really good race with these guys. It was a lot of fun. I didn't have any issues at all. Not much contact. And I'll tell you what, for the most part, it was a pretty clean race. You know, I don't think anybody was out intentionally to bump anyone or anything like that. It ended up just being, you know, a lot of fun. And like I said, initially I wasn't even going to do Blue Moon, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I did enjoy myself. I know some of you guys have told me, you know, it was terrible for you. But I'm not really sure. I still can't tell if the algorithm has been changed in regard to the penalty system, because I did see, like I said, some ghosting in this race. So I don't know if that was caused by bump drafting or however that was caused. But if you guys have any input, let me know how your race was. I'm kind of curious if you were getting a bunch of penalties for bump drafting or something like that, because I didn't touch anybody. FT Chris and I did not have any contact, so I'm just not really sure how much better the penalty system really is. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.